What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another video. First off, I do want to say happy Batman Day to all the Batman fans out there. Shout out to you if you are here watching this video. And Batman is one of the only heroes to have a day named after him, which is another reason that he's my favorite. And so there's a lot of superheroes that don't get that. But anyway, once again, happy Batman Day. Basically, this video is going to be exactly what the title says. It's me going over my top 5 Batman figures. And as you can see, there's more than 5 Batman on the screen right now. And that's because these guys are my runner-ups. I really enjoy every one of these figures. And I do want to say, if you're planning on getting your hands on any of these, some of them might be pretty expensive. Some of them are still inexpensive. But starting from left to right, first off, we do have the DC Collectibles Greg Capullo New 52 Batman. And this guy right here, man, I remember when he came out, and I remember when I first started getting into figure photography, this was a figure that I saw quite a bit. And even though he's not the most posable, he looks great. And I've seen so many beautiful shots of him. Moving on to the next one. I know this isn't Bruce Wayne, but we're talking about Batman, not Bruce Wayne. We do have the Thomas Wayne Batman. And I feel like this is one that we needed from a figure company. I don't know why imports are waiting on this guy, but it is the McFarlane Thomas Wayne. And once again, not the most posable, but he's definitely an awesome figure. Now moving on to the middle, we have one of my favorite costumes from one of my favorite games that is far too slept on for me to be satisfied with, like Batman Arkham Origins from DC Collectibles. I love the game. I felt like this was Batman at his most badass, in my opinion, in terms of the video games. And this costume was just really fun for me. It kind of has that realistic look, but it doesn't stray too far away from the comics. So I really just enjoyed that. Now behind him, we do have my favorite costume for Batman today, comic costume that is. We have the McFarlane Rebirth Batman. Now, well, I think it's DC Metals, but they went with the Rebirth costume. But I wish they would have went with the purple cape, and that would have made this figure much more enjoyable for me. He's kind of battle damaged, but they didn't paint the skin tone, and they ended up coming out with another one. But still, I enjoyed this figure, so I had to go ahead and throw him on the list. Now, in front of him, this guy would have easily been in the actual top 5 if it wasn't for the fact that he was missing a waist swivel and a thigh swivel. We have the DC Icons Rebirth Batman, which is just a beautiful figure, man. I love this costume. I love the colors. I love, for the most part, the articulation that DC Icons went with. Boy, if they would have released this figure with, I kid you not, thigh swivel and just a waist swivel, it would have been easy, top 5. And if they would have had a bicep swivel also, or butterfly swivel, I'm sorry, butterfly joints, man, this figure is just, I love it. No matter what, he's probably my favorite out of all the runner-ups, but still. Then behind him, I don't know which Batman this is. I remember picking it up at a con I went to not too far from where I live. I love the comic look to it. It has the trunks, it has the black and gray, and so I felt like this was one that just had to make the list because of the fact that it's a comic look, and on top of that, at this point, I'm pretty sure he's a vintage Batman. So anyway, I've rambled on enough discussing these guys. Let's go ahead and get into my top 5 so we can run through this list. Now, starting off with number 5, I have to go with the Mezco Toys Batman Beyond. And in my opinion, this is arguably the best Batman Beyond figure. And I have to put that word arguably in quotation marks because some people might not agree. Some people might say that they think the McFarlane version is the superior. Some might even say the Mattel. Then you have others that might say DC Collectibles. I don't know. I feel like this one is the best bang for your buck. You get the best accessories. In my opinion, he kind of has a better look than them. I do wish it would have been a little bit more comic accurate instead of all the extra details. But Mezco is known for throwing their twist on everything that they make. And at the end of the day, for the most part, you can't look at this and say it's not Batman Beyond. It's just a little bit more tech-y looking, if that makes any sense. But yeah, comes with a decent amount of accessories. He looks great. The only issue I have with this figure is that the articulation is weak. I feel like they should have put this guy on a Gomez body, and he would have been able to do everything that Terry McGinnis is able to do in the show, and that would have put this guy at the top of the list for sure. But yes, number 5, we have the Mezco Batman Beyond. And also, before I forget, big shout out to the homie D Amazing for getting me this figure, man. I had it before. I kind of was low on money, so I had to sell it. But D hooked me up with this. So D, thank you, man. You are awesome wherever you are. And if you guys aren't subscribed to D Amazing, I'm sure you are. But if you're not, go subscribe to D Amazing's channel. He's an awesome guy. Now, coming in at number 4, we do have the SH Figuarts Batman The Dark Knight from the Christopher Nolan series, and this is who we had being played by Christian Bale. This Batman, in terms of the movie itself, I feel like really set the bar for what comic movies could be. I don't know anyone that hates this trilogy. Even though I personally had my nitpicks, it was very enjoyable, and SH Figuarts absolutely killed it with this figure. My only gripe about this guy is the cape. They went way too thick on the cape, and so you can't really pose it. The wires aren't strong enough to support the cape blowing in the wind. It just kind of flares out the way it looks right now. That's pretty much the extent of what you can do with it. But if the cape on this guy was wired properly and properly put together, man, this thing, I wouldn't even care about having the Mafex 3.0. But articulation on this guy, accessories, details. There's not a whole lot of paint, but there's a whole lot of texturing to the costume. Facial expressions. Like, this looks like Christian Bale. I feel like they did a great job. And it's a major, I want to say step up, but it's not really a step up because the figure I'm about to mention came out after this. But it's just so much better than what they did with the Michael Keaton Batman. Now, I understand people have trouble getting Michael Keaton's likeness down. But yeah, this one is just an absolute fire figure. If you don't have this guy, I would recommend picking him up. If you don't have him, but if you do have the Mafex 3.0, then by all means, stick with that one. But if you don't have this guy and you like SH Figuarts over Mafex, I recommend him. I think he's a little expensive, but he's definitely worth having in your collection. Moving on to number 3, here we have what I believe is a masterpiece. Now, if you guys know me, then you know Ben Affleck is my favorite Batman, so there's going to be a little bit of bias in this. But this is a Batman Day video, so there's going to be bias anyway. This figure right here, man, Mafex Justice League Batman. This thing, I don't even know. I don't know. I just absolutely love this figure. As soon as I got it in hand, all I had to do was look at it in the inner packaging, and I was like, this thing is it. This is it. I love this figure. A Ben Affleck Batman with a perfect head sculpt combined with Mafex's articulation. You just can't go wrong. You really cannot go wrong with this figure. And so automatically this one was going to make the list no matter what. I wanted to throw the tactical suit on here, but the other Batman that I'm going to show after this kind of beat that one for me. But this guy is just a flat out masterpiece. Now, I will say, if you don't have this guy, I feel sorry for you, because right now he is extremely expensive. I don't think you're going to get this guy for less than almost 200 bucks. Hopefully they do a re-release of this guy. Mafex has been putting out re-releases. If you don't know, they did re-release the 2.0 Joker from The Dark Knight. They re-released the 3.0 Batman from The Dark Knight. And then they also just recently re-released Bane, who was going for almost 400 bucks. So hopefully we'll get a re-release of this guy, but to the people who have him in your collection, I'm sure you guys already know. Now, one last thing I want to throw in is that the cape that is on this guy right now is not one that comes on it, which is exactly why he didn't make it further in the list. This is a custom cape. Well, actually, it's not custom. I took it off of the Mafex Batman v Superman Batman, and it was very easy to swap. I just put it, pretty much ripped it off, put it on this guy, glued it under the cowl, and here it is. It works just fine. So if he came with this cape, this guy probably would have been number 1 or 2 for sure. Now, coming in at number 2, yes, I know there are 2 figures on the screen. We have the Mafex Batman Hush Batman figures. I was drooling over these the moment that the promo images went up. I was like, give me this now. Because comic book Batman figures are just automatic, especially when done by imports. It's an automatic A+ for me, as long as it comes out great. And these came out great. I know some people have issues with them. I don't like the cape. I had some issues with the knees. I had some issues with this. Look, I don't care what anyone says. This guy is the best comic book Batman figure, period. No matter what anyone says, you're not going to get this level of articulation from a comic book Batman with anything you buy. I don't care who makes it. SH Figure Arts isn't doing this. Figma, we ain't even going to mention them. Mezco, come on now. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. They're not doing this. No, Hasbro is not doing this. They're not doing it. I don't care who it is. They're not doing this. And especially making it look this damn good. Yes, there are some things to nitpick. The cape is definitely an issue. Yes, it bothers me. But that's the only issue I had with this guy. Everything else is fine. As you can see, I changed the cape on this guy. The black version. And this has easily become my favorite Batman. Well, it's my second favorite. It's my second favorite because you guys will understand why my number one is my number one. But, man, look, these things are just dope. If you pose these in shots, you stand these on your shelf, these are going to look really good. And on top of the fact that they are continuing the Hush line, we've got Catwoman already. We got Superman, which is the best Superman. I don't care what anyone says. It's the best Superman figure we have to date. The Mezco's not going to top that. This is a video of me keeping it real with you guys. The Mezco's not going to top that. But we've got Hush on the way. We've got another costume of Batman where he's in like this aqua gear. Mafex is just killing it with this line. And so that's why these two made number 2. And if I didn't explain it, I'm just kind of rambling. But these two are here because it's essentially the same exact figure. It's just a repaint. I don't think they did anything. Maybe they upped the quality a bit. But for the most part, it's the same figure, which is exactly why I chose these two for number 2. Now, coming in at numero uno, we have the Mafex Batman The Dark Knight Returns Batman. And this guy right here. I've probably done that like 10 times this video. But who the Mafex gods blessed us with this figure. And this is not me being biased. I know my last like 10 have been Mafex. But, and it's not just because they're my favorite company. It's the fact that every time they deliver, they deliver. You might have some quality control issues here and there. But in terms of accessories, in terms of look, sculpt, paint, detail, they are coming with it. They are, if they're playing bowling, they hit a strike every time. Because, man, these things, the fun factor of these Batman figures they drop is just outstanding. It's to the point to where I get these, and for the longest, for a couple of days, I cannot put them down. This was a figure that with as much plastic as it has, there was so much room for error, and this figure is a solid, for me, 10 out of 10. He comes with 2 expressions, which is the angry Batman and then the angrier Batman. He comes with several sets of hands, several sets of batarangs, and you can pretty much get this guy in any pose that Batman could get into in The Dark Knight Returns. It's just oh my. It's just an outstanding figure, you guys. This one and the battle damage blue one, which I still need to get back. I ended up having to sell that one for something that came up, but I got to get that figure back. And then also the 2-pack that is coming out, hopefully like a month or so from now, so I can have my funds ready. But they're delivering when it comes to these bigger buffer Batman, and I love it. I just absolutely love it. So, yes, this guy is my number 1. So, here you guys have it. My top 5 Batman action figures to date. I hope that you guys did enjoy this video. I know it's something a little bit new. And I kind of just rambled on in this one because it's a Batman Day video. And we're here to talk about how great Batman is as a superhero. And Batman is just my favorite hero. He always will be. Always, always, always. And people always ask, why do I love Batman? It's the fact that he makes having no superpowers look cool. And there's no one who does that better. I'm sorry. I love a lot of superheroes, more so on the Marvel side, which is something that I figured out lately. But he just makes being a normal human being look so cool, so badass, and that's just what I love about him. And so I had to make this video for Batman Day, and I do, once again, hope you guys enjoyed it. If so, I do want to know some of your favorite Batman figures. If there's some on the list, on your list that I didn't put on the video, drop them in the comments. I want to know what you guys think your favorite Batman figures are. So just let me know. But that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Batman Day, and Batman fans rule. Peace.